This is the J-Hawks Sports Network, powered by Heartland Technology.
All right, welcome back on the J-Hawks Sports Network. We welcome you back if you are joining us from watching the Jesup Girls Contest that wrapped up here not too long ago, where the girls were able to pull out the win 58-47 on Ackley, Geneva, Wellsburg, Steamboat Rock. Otherwise, we will call them mostly the Cougars tonight as we get AWGSR through that. Jesup J-Hawks coming in on the boys' side of things with a record of 5-4 overall, 2-1 in the North Iowa Cedar East League. AWGSR and the Cougars 0-7, looking for that first win overall and in conference play, of course. Jesup also coming off of a huge win and a Jack Miller show along with a Luke Baldwin show with Don Bosco right before Christmas. And then unfortunate tough game over at Grundy Center last night, 82-49.
Yeah, I don't want to have any part of my name being in any of these shows. This is all about the kids. I know what you meant, though. If you listen to the replay.
There's some viral videos out there going around. The one game I miss, and Jack decides to throw 5 down and get an alley-oop.
I think there was some comparison between me to Santa Claus or something. The way I was saying, ho, 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 or something like that. So.
All right, I don't know if it was milk and cookies, it was the ho, ho.
Yeah, okay. But I tell you what, man, that was I forgot you weren't here for that. It was just one after another, and it was well, you were kind of surreal.
You were texting me going, these are some of the best dunks I've seen. Oh. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to pull it up and watch it. But then Anthony went ahead and put together that the highlight
reel.
Which
was great. That made the rounds for sure.
All right, we're going to turn things over to Steve Fox for starting lineups.
Number 13, Talon Mutchler. A freshman, number 21, Grace Knighton. A senior, number 33, Dave Niederhoff. The Cougars are coached by Riley Shipper. And now for the J-Hawks, a senior, number 9, Jack Miller. A senior, number 4, Dale Jesup. A junior, number 5, Nick Moore. A junior, number 10, Ryan Dorento. And a junior, number 11, Lyndon Vogel. The Jayhawks are coached by Joe Klein.
All right, I got to say Dan Fox, not Steve Fox. I'm not sure where that came from, as Dan Fox has been a long-time announcer for Jesup football and just basketball now. So let's make that correction and make sure he gets that credit.
I think there is a Steve Fox, though, potentially from East Buchanan. Don't quote me on that, but
yeah, there's one out there, but not announcing. Anyway, starting lineups: Pickering, Roeder, Mushler, Elton, and Nierhoff for the Cougars. Miller, Shizzle, Vogel, Tripto, and Moore, all with the Jayhawks. I did your job there for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Once again,
I didn't ask you to do it. I thought, well, let's just keep going.
I was kind of focusing on the missed jump there. I thought they were going to let that play out, but they re-jumped it.
So Jesup underway with 2 seniors and 3 juniors in that starting lineup. And not a very deep roster for AWGSR. As we'll see how this goes, Jesup been averaging 62.2 points per game this year. AWGSR just above 28 points on average, and Jesup has won on average by 1.2 points, and AWGSR has lost their games on average by a 39.6 margin.
Wow, that's a tough season for the Cougars. I don't wish that on anybody, because that's just tough to deal with night after night. But by the same token, props to these kids who are out there battling and trying to make their program better.
Steve Fox is one of our bus drivers. That's why that
Steve
name
Fox,
popped into my head, too. Thank you, Zach, for sharing that. I knew that, but I didn't make the connection until you showed up on my wrist.
Miller, 3, no good. Rebound, Shizzle inside to Miller, kicks it out to.
There's more looking for that first basket. Either team just really struggling to get some things going here in the first minute, pushing minute and a half.
I feel like this is a game that if Jesup could get out in some fast breaks, they could really do some damage in a hurry. But right now, good defense by both teams. There's a takeaway by Miller.
Jack will hold on to it, push it down to Shizzle. Looks right. He will go to the hoop and get the first basket.
That's a pretty little fake and up by Shizzle. Not a very good call by Baldwin, but
I need to give credit. My wife's the one that texted me of who's Steve Fox.
Oh, thank you, Kelly. Thanks
And I say that because she probably didn't want me to say that.
Well,
she was jealous that Zach got a shout out, I think, and that she didn't.
Just for that, we're going to have to mention her name no less than 5 more times throughout this game.
This is when your phone's going to start going off. Under 6 minutes to play, Jesup with that 4-0 advantage. And bringing around with Niederhoff, looking for an opening. Niederhoff actually played a good chunk of the JV game tonight.
That name always reminds me of.
Are you going Animal House?
Animal House.
Pledge pin.
Didn't we get it?
It's Niedermeyer. You're thinking Niedermeyer.
Niedermeyer, but
yeah.
Every time I think we got stuck on this last year, or I got stuck on it.
5:23 to play. Ackley, Geneva, Wellsburg, Steamboat Rock. The Cougars still looking for the first basket.
Nice
as
job.
They continue to move around. And it's taken away. And there's Ryan Treptow. And I don't know if he was going to try and show up Jack a little bit and bring it down, but he just does a nice, easy lay-in.
For the record, that nice job was directed at you, Nate, for rolling off Ackley, Geneva, Wellsburg, Steamboat Rock like you had said it a million times in your life.
I've said it a few times that you have to sit there and think about it. There's just some acronyms out there you really have to think about that. Wonder if they actually make sense.
In the girls' game, I thought about that numerous times and couldn't come up with the schools, and you just ripped them off like nothing.
You know, I get the chance to call 8-player state football championships and semis. So
are they 8-man?
Well, you get OA,
Oh,
CBGI. You get a bunch of acronym schools in there that
I'm following.
You just kind of roll into that.
Yep.
So
well, and truthfully, Jesup is a bit of an anomaly at this point in time. You don't see many schools that are just on their own anymore. I mean, obviously there's a fair amount of them, but it's hard. It's hard to maintain a district alone at this point.
You know, but from there's some from an administrative standpoint, Jesup and Wapsie Valley share transportation directors. We share social work with Wapsie Valley. I think we've got some kids coming over from Dunkerton that are taking physics, but also a part of the CAPS program here.
Yep.
So, or chemistry or physics, one of those.
Yeah. So we're trying to we have some cost sharing here and there where it makes sense. And I mean, it's been a while since I was on the school board, but you're currently on the school board, and I think we maintain really good relationships with all of our neighbors. So I think most of them, including us, are happy to enter into those relationships when they present themselves.
Yeah, and I think what's cool, and you've grown up here, and the rivalries with Wapsie Valley, rivalry with Denver, and you could even say Dunkerton, that type of thing. The behind the scenes to actually make things work. And you kind of put those rivalries aside to make things happen for the kids.
Well, and the reality is the kids are hanging out with those kids from different schools all the time. Most of the bad blood only exists at the parent level.
We're on the court that night.
Which is and it should exist there. That's competition.
There's Landon Vogel. He's got it, and he is going to draw the foul. And that'll be the first team foul
that's going to be
against the Cougars.
Talon Muchler? How'd you say it when you read them off?
Muchler.
Little runner by Vogel, and he's going to get that to fall.
So we've got all starters except Moore with points, each with a basket. Come near side, there's Munchler, and he will try to go to the hoop, and I think Vogel slid his leg there and
he's
had to
going to
pull
get
away.
a second early foul on Vogel. I would expect Joe to maybe make a substitution before long for Vogel.
Deep
Coach
shot.
Smines, I should say. Head coach Joe Smines.
More with the rebound. Cross court. There's Miller with a big three.
Well, I tell you what, when he got a little bit of, we got an injury.
Nick Moore. Yeah, a little twist up with his ankle. He's going to try and walk that off a little bit as he will sit down next to Coach Schmidt and call over the trainer.
Probably not the substitution that Coach Smines was considering, but good defense by Shizzle. Intercepted that ball, got caught between his legs trying to pass it back in.
So they'll take Moore off out of the gym, get a chance to look closer at that ankle, maybe ice it or see what's going on there as Madden Sly makes his way in. A senior, another senior on this team.
Let's see. There's more Maddens coming, not more Maddens, more Slies coming up the pipeline, right?
Just the girls left.
Just the girls?
Yeah.
Is that one or multiple?
Just one, I think.
Just one, okay.
Jack Miller looked like he was going to try and
that'll work.
Take it baseline in. Ball got loose, but he got it back in his hands for a deep three on that far side.
So for those of you keeping track, that's 14-0 so far. Nice. That's a
Shizzle had his hand on that ball, and the block.
That was a good call.
Bring him back down, and that's the travel.
Yeah, jump ball, I think.
Or jump.
Shizzle wanted the travel. That is a jump ball, and it looks like it's going to stay with the Cougars. Yep.
That jump possession is with AWGSR. Little fader on the left side, doesn't go for Niederhoff. And there's the first basket for the Cougars as Roeder gets credit for that.
Yeah, I don't know if we don't have somebody on the bench that works the shot clock, or I'm sorry, the possession arrow on the clock.
Well, we've got somebody else who's on the main clock right now.
We won't call him out.
So,
I don't want to make anybody feel bad. I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I notice we always do have the possession
arrow. Did you want to yell down right now?
Girls, hey, get it together down there. No, but we don't have it for the boys. But just for your information at home, there is a shot boy, I'm really struggling with this. There's a possession arrow box at the scorer's table below us that they're using on the court. So the refs are not just making things up as they go.
No, we're just
nice feed by Jack Miller into Treptow, no good.
We're just complaining about the inconvenience of having us to lean over and look at the light. Deep shot coming for
Bank.
Some bench points. Give that credit to Willems.
Bank's open.
They got 14-5 now is that score. Leading scorer for the Cougars is Gabe Niederhoff, the senior, averaging 11.2 points per game. Blake Willems comes right behind at 4.8 points per game. 40% from the field shooter.
Willems, a 5'10 sophomore. Niederhoff, a 6'3 senior. That's going to be Vogel's third foul. And he will almost certainly head to the bench at this point. And he will. And so with that, we're going to see who are we going to see? Tyler Nolan's going to check into the game for the Jayhawks as Lannon takes a seat. I got to say, man, the Cougars, they're playing hard. They're getting in the passing lanes. They're making this harder for the Jayhawks than maybe the Jayhawks anticipated.
2:06 to go, first period here in Jesup. Nolan, a little push in to Treptow, and Shizzle takes a deep three, but 3 seconds in the paint, looked like.
Yeah, I believe that was on Treptow?
I don't know if it was Sly or Treptow that was in there. 14-6 again the score. 4 team fouls for Jesup has the Cougars in that bonus. Again, that will reset. Fouls reset at the end of each quarter. And Treptow fighting for that aggressive play. Good control on that dribble. Another layup for him, taking the 4 points.
Really strong final step there to increase that distance between him and the defense.
Nice pull up, Niederhoff. Little easy shot. Nolan, little fight on the rebound, gets it back out. Treptow looked at it. He's going to take it this time. Rim no good. Sly leans in, walking that line on that baseline. Now Nolan dishing out to Shizzle.
Travel.
A little extra step in there. And the boys coming off a loss last night, 80-49 at Grundy Center. We talked, if you want to hear from Coach Smides, you can go back to the girls' broadcast against AWGSR and find halftime. And we'll talk to Coach about how the season before the holidays wrapped up and went over Bosco and adjustments they made during break and the loss last night to Grundy. Kind of got into a hornet's nest last night over at Grundy Center.
Yeah, and we talked about the Grundy's girls really solid from the perimeter, and you could say the same for the boys. They got hot from outside, and that was a bit of a snowball effect there too. They made a bunch of threes.
There's just a deep championship mindset over there, just with the success they've had, and you get some big kids on that team too.
Yeah,
coming off a state football championship team.
I think they hit, 6'5" or 6'7" kid. I forget which.
10 seconds, Jesup looking at that last shot here. 19-8 is the score. Treptow, 5 seconds. Back to Jack, a deep three. Rings.
Foul.
Hits the iron with the shot clock.
Yeah, they're going to call a foul on that. So Jack's going to go to the charity stripe and shoot 3. 19-8. Jesup currently has the Cougars doubled up. See if Jack can increase that lead. Not on the first one.
And he's a relatively automatic free throw shooter.
I had to laugh, Nate, and I'm not trying to talk poorly about Don Bosco fans. They're our neighbors and great friends. But if you listen to one of the Jack went to the line to shoot some technical foul shots when their coach got a technical foul, and he missed the first one. You heard an adult in their stands yell something to the effect of "overrated," something like that. And shortly thereafter, Jack hammered down 5 in a row.
Well, that'll do it.
It was kind of like, karma. Sometimes it's good just keep your mouth shut.
I think we're going to go over to Carter Route for a little bit of a drum solo. So, Eric, if we can, it's usually about first quarter.
Looks like he's getting warmed up over there.
So Carter Route, a senior for Jesup, kind of become known for his drum solos. Got to give credit for the fine arts and the work that they're doing.
Right on, man. Fine arts, athletic club, or what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
the what's not the athletic club, the athletic
Booster Club?
The Booster Club. Thank you, Nate.
All right.
Fine Arts, Booster Club, all of those things combined. Has it been 1 or 2 years now?
It's been a couple of years, yeah.
So all of that money kind of, I believe, loosely going into the same pot to better fund all the various activities we have here at Jesup.
And kind of thinking of fine arts as well, tomorrow, group speech, kind of their tryout, or their demo day is going to be up at Olwine tomorrow, 2 weeks ahead of the regional competition for speech. And Coach Wall.
Get a little experience in that.
A little bit. So Annika's done some good job in the program.
Is Annika running that now?
She's running that now, along with Mr. Ginn, the band teacher. He's a part of it.
I have no doubt that they do a phenomenal job.
And Miss Truex, she might be involved in it too, I think, a little bit.
Awesome. As Anthony Baugh hammers down a pulled pork sandwich next to me. You can hear my stomach growl.
Okay, did you bring that or did you get that from the concession stand? Did you get that from the concession stand or did you bring that in your lunchbox? Okay.
Madden Sly with the reverse layup as we were talking food.
So thank you to everybody down the work in the concession stand this evening through JV games and varsity contests.
That's travel. Yep.
Always need more volunteers in the concession stand and also at the front gate. So
preach.
If you got some time, even if you don't have a kid in sports or just want to be a part of something.
I think what Nate is trying to say is you have time. If you have a kid in an activity, you have time. Don't tell me you don't. You're lying to me.
You know, a good thing is if you've got a girl on a team, go volunteer for boy events.
Yeah. Just volunteer for an event when your when your child isn't playing. Go volunteer.
Big shot, no good. Jesup does have Jack Miller leading their team with 12 points. Shizzle, he's got 5. Treptow in there with 6.
Jack Miller
with a basket, and that one's a big one.
Boy, you can just, when those are in, they're in. I mean, they just come out of his hand so beautifully.
Come around left side, Pickering has it. Trying to keep that handle. Get in the paint.
Good defense
Stopped
by
up,
Shizzle.
looking for an outlet from Eiton. And there's Treptow. Here comes Jack Miller. Oh, he didn't pull it down. Little flick in. 32-8.
Jack might have some tired legs after playing the game last night and getting after it here tonight.
And he was having a race to get openings last night against Grundy Center. And, you know, Coach Smines talked at halftime. You know, and you said it earlier too, there was one guy, you've got Jack Miller. You got to try and shut him down.
Yeah, and that's like we were talking earlier. I mean, that's in my opinion the best way to guard somebody of Jack's caliber is you have to say, this is your guy. Pay no attention to anything else on this court. He doesn't get the ball without you causing problems. He doesn't shoot without you causing problems. He's not even part of this offense without you causing problems.
32-8, back in it here, 5:29 to go. Halftime, we'll talk to girls coach Jordan Conrad. They got the victory over the Cougars earlier tonight. Nick Moore ends up with that ball and a whistle. Paxton McCone in the ball game now.
In the ball game, and I believe a quick foul on Paxton. Yep, that's Paxton's first. Paxton, the starting point guard for the Jayhawks JV team, getting some varsity minutes here.
And he's really improved his game since last year as well. Played a lot of minutes this summer.
Yep, he's got a brother who played point guard for the Jayhawks a few years back.
He's up at Mason City playing community college ball up there.
Yep,
he's in the stands tonight.
Of course, his sister Peyton is also a stud for the girls team, and I don't know if Peyton is still participating in athletics at the collegiate level.
She graduate, undergraduate, and has moved on to her PT school or something like that.
Well, I think, isn't that what Parker's, is it Wait a minute, I got him screwed up. Which is the older of the boys? Parker. Isn't that what Parker's going to school for,
so.
too?
Yeah.
Following in Dad's footsteps.
No look from Shizzle to Jack. No look back to Treptow. And now Nick Moore tries to put the exclamation point on it. Comes out of bounds back towards the purple.
A lot of fancy right there.
If I'm Joe, I'm like, come on, guys.
Those passes are great when they work.
Yeah.
When they don't work, it's a real groaner.
I'm glad you said groaner, not just made the noise. Miller, top of the key, no look over to Shizzle. He pulls the trigger. Can't get the rebound. They're going to start taking some shots here, a little more risk, I think, of where they're at, given the opportunity.
3 from Niedermeyer. Got it. Niederhoff. Sorry.
No, Niederhoff. Niederhoff. No pledge pins here. Treptow back over to Shizzle.
Toga.
Pax looked at it. He's going to take a deep 3 for Jack Miller. Looking for the rebound. Shizzle.
Nice
deep
pass.
into Treptow. He draws a foul as he gets a layup.
That's a nice find by Shizzle, dumping it off on the baseline to a slashing Treptow. Puts it up. He's going to go to the line, try to make this a 3-point play for the Jayhawks.
He's got 10 points.
Net.
Full court press coming in, and Coach has said they've been really sticking with his zone defense, and now it looks like they've switched it up a little bit as far as where that pressure is, and give Treptow some credit. Walking along that baseline forces the out of bounds.
Some kid was all fired up down there on the baseline. He saw it. He saw it was out of bounds. Made the call for
There's
the ref.
some influence in there, you think?
It was the right call, too.
Paxton McComb's got the ball. A right-handed dribble, flips into Shizzle. Finds Nick Moore.
3 seconds.
3 seconds in the paint. Got to watch that. That's twice tonight. And we've seen Jesup get that,
which is
really haven't seen it all season.
Really uncommon. I mean, that is not a common call. I'm not saying that it was the wrong or a bad call. I'm just saying at the varsity level, you don't see 3 seconds in the lane very often.
Shouldn't. Shizzle pulls up 10 feet out. No good. Rebound comes to the visiting team. Halftime, we got some more youngsters going to hit the courts and try and shoot some hoops. Not just try, but they will make some hoops, I'm sure.
Foul on the far side there. I think they called that on Moore. Yep, that's Moore's first. Second team foul. Not a lot of fouls so far in this game, Nate. 2 on Jesup, just 1 on the Cougars in the second period.
Quick
deep
shot.
3. Wow.
Give credit on the confidence to Willems.
Nice
That's
job.
his second three-pointer tonight. And there's Nick Moore. Get him in the scorebook. All starters now in the scorebook.
Really nice ball movement by the Jayhawks. Close to a travel there. Niederhoff got rid of it. Steal.
And nice follow-up with Miller. He's got 19.
Tried a repeat of what we saw in the Bosco game. Didn't work out as well. But 2 points is 2 points.
Landon Vogel, who's one of the starters, went down with an ankle injury of sorts or challenge earlier in the half, and he seems to be sidelines. That's why we're seeing Parker McCone in there at that guard spot. Deep 3 from Miller. That used to amaze us more than it does now.
Yeah, it's
and maybe it's because he was a freshman when he was doing it.
Yeah, but
did you just do a Kalen Clark hand thing? Okay.
It's good segue though, Nate. I was just about to say I was listening to a podcast today, Doctorman and I can't think of the other guy's name he does a podcast with. Anyway, they were talking about Clark and how almost everything she does is just kind of incredible, but we've gotten so used to it that nothing is really shocking anymore.
Right.
And everything just seems normal, and there's nothing normal about it. And it's kind of the same with Jack Miller. When he pulls up from the volleyball 10-foot line, that's not a normal shot for high schoolers, and he's shooting it effortlessly.
Well, and you're more like last night, and I don't know what he had last night as far as point total, but, when you're talking about, he averages 26 points a game.
Yeah.
And you're saying, well, he only had 12?
Yeah, that's
12's
shocking.
still a pretty good game.
Yeah, and it really is, but that's shocking at this point when somebody holds them to just 12.
Jack Miller, far side, crossed over to Tyler Nolan.
There he is.
He takes another deep one. Back of the rim, no good. Shizzle pushes it out.
He was 2 foot beyond that 10-foot volleyball mark and shot it long.
Eiton return that back to the under the floor. Under 10 seconds, they'll get the last shot. 44-20 is where we're at right now. Coach Jordan Conrad making his way this way shortly as we are at halftime. 44-20. That's a 23-12 margin in that second quarter. Leading scorer, Jack Miller, 22 points. 11 for Treptow. Other side of it, Willems actually off the bench. He's the leading scorer, I believe, with actually strike that. Eiton has 9 points to his name as Coach Jordan Conrad making his way up the bleachers, and we'll hand off the headset here and pull out our notes from this previous game and bring on Coach Jordan Conrad. Girls winning tonight 58-47. Coach, congratulations on a nice win. It didn't come easy.
It did not come easy. They did not make it easy. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, go ahead.
Put that thing closer. Luke's just too loud. You got to move it away from him.
There's something to be said for that, yeah.
No, yeah, they. I tell you what, the big girl is very tough inside, very tough, and she moves well. She has good hands. They do a good job moving against pressure and do a good job with their post entries to her. She gets really good position, and when she gets it in deep, she's next to impossible to stop.
Yeah, you look at, Cooper ended up with 32 points, and she's just a junior, so you're going to see her again, and something to watch in there, but. You look at your team and where things started off, and there was more fouls, I think, in this game than we've seen combined in some other games.
Yeah.
But Olivia Nesbitt, she was consistent throughout, got some early fouls, but we didn't see her get a foul up against her name until later part of the game.
Yeah, she was really big. We had a lot of girls that stepped up tonight, but Olivia, unofficial stats, I guess, that we're kind of tracking throughout. I think she had 7 steals. I don't know what she ended up point-wise, but I think she had another 7 rebounds.
Unofficially 19 is what we were at.
19 points, 7 rebounds, 7 steals, a couple of assists. She was just filling up the stat book tonight.
But there were some times here second half, fourth quarter that it's like she's going to shoot it, then she'd hand it off. There was a few of those. Yeah. Anything to that? Was she thinking – just looking for different options, or she didn't want to pull the trigger, you think?
Yeah, I think she's very unselfish. She's a very unselfish player. She's probably one of our best passers, honestly. She just sees the floor so well, and she really knows the game that at times it's – I don't want to say it's a detriment, but at times we'd like to see her be a little more aggressive on the offensive end. I feel like she passes up some shots at times that we need her to take. So we've had those conversations, and I think these last few games she's been much more aggressive on the offensive end. If you look early in the season at first couple of games, she only got a couple shots up each game, and that's just she's too good to only settle for 2 shots a night. Even though she's unselfish and wants to get other people involved, at times we need you to be a little more selfish to get shots up, and so she's been doing a good job of mixing those back and forth together, and I think that was just a little bit of what you were seeing tonight.
Well, let's look at this. And you've got, again, they continue to spread it out, and you look at it, and one player, one of your juniors, Sage Bain. We don't talk about much. She's not deep in points.
Yeah.
But she is such a pivotal player where she can get that ball with the assist.
Yeah, she's so important for our team. Underrated star. Honestly, there's one of the biggest stars in a role that somebody can have. She's not going to ask for more shots. She's not going to ask for more minutes. She's just going to make the most of whatever she can get, whatever opportunity she's given. And that's part of what makes her so valuable out there. She's willing to mix it up with whoever she needs to mix it up with. If she needs to go pressure a guard, she's willing to do that. If she needs to be a facilitator, she's willing to do that. And, at times in the right moment, she's selective, but it's not like she can't shoot it on occasion, that she can knock a shot down or, score 6 or 8 from around the basket, getting offensive rebounds, just making hustle plays for us. I mean, she's huge on that, getting on the floor for us. She's not Peyton McCone on the floor. She's not Emma Bowes on the floor, but if there's an opportunity, she's going to be there. Yeah.
You look at resilience. Your team really, has that. You come off. I want to get the good news in before we got to last night's news. Over at Grundy Center with a 50-32 loss. You look at, there was times in this game tonight. Things were tight, but they just kept fighting forward. You talk about, Peyton Bowes keep fighting at it. Also with Emma Bowes coming in there and Zabel. I could go through all of them.
Yeah.
Bolden, they just kept fighting back. But let's talk about coming out of last night. Actually, let's rewind to before Christmas and coming off of West Delaware. We didn't quite talk about that. So you had 2 straight losses in there.
Yes,
There's only 2 losses on the year to then come in and build with what you had tonight.
Yeah. So I think it probably goes without saying too much. There was some probably built up some frustration. You go in a break. It's never fun to go in a break on a loss. But you got to look at the positives. We're 8-1 going into break, but you got to sit on it for a while, which you don't love. We got a couple of scrimmages in over that we played well at, that I think kind of got us back going again, got us some confidence. And we came out and we wanted to play well against Grundy. Felt like we forced a few things early. They did a really good job handling pressure. They got some veteran players over there. They got a really nice team. They hit some shots early. Numbers-wise, we were going to live with some outside shots, and they come in and they knock 8 threes down. And it's just, one of those nights we didn't knock some shots down. In key moments, I think we cut it to 7 at one point in the third quarter and had a free throw to cut it to 6 maybe with a 3-point play opportunity. We miss. They score, we turn it over, they score again, and then we cut it back to 7 again or 10, and then they bank in a 3 end the quarter, and kind of our heads drop going in the fourth quarter of, that was kind of our run, and they kind of took the wind out of our sail, if you will. And so there was a lot of frustration from a lot of people last night after the game, having 2 straight losses. Understandably so. This group has very high hopes for themselves. I have high hopes and expectations for them all the time, and, it leads to not much sleep for me, to be honest, last night. But, they did a really good job of coming out. And
you got 2 young kids. You can credit that as well.
Yeah, but we did a really nice job. I told the girls after the game, I know there was a ton of frustration after last night from everyone, ton of frustration. And we come out and we're down 8 at half. It was been really easy to say, we're still really frustrated about the last 2 losses. We're down. And, all right, well, we're just going to take another one.
Then a 16-3 run in the third quarter.
Yeah, then a 16-3. We started executing the game plan we talked about. And some of that comes, that's on us for, not being able to go through things. Back-to-back nights, you don't get to go over your game plan like you'd like to, the practice before. So it's kind of on-the-fly stuff. But they did a really, really good job. Credit to all the girls in the second half on this stuff. And, Adriana's been so good for us this year. She's not going to wow you with going out and scoring 25. There might be a night she scores 20, but I had a conversation with her before the game tonight, and I think she's just been one of those girls that have just started a role. Maybe not have been the role she wanted if she got to pick one to start the season, but since then, I think she's been really good at her role of being a defender, playing extremely hard, finding the open girl, leading us in assists probably, all of those things. So, I could go, like you said, I could go on and on about every player in our team. And as long as we continue to keep thinking about, the us over me stuff, we're going to be in really good shape.
Yeah, I got a lot more questions when it gets into, I know some of the extra coaching stuff you put in and some of the team building stuff. But as halftime's winding down here, let's look ahead to next week. Going to Wapsie Valley on Tuesday. Got Old Wine Friday. Talk about what you expect to see then next week.
Yeah, so haven't had a chance to watch a lot of Wapsie yet, but it's never easy going over there. Whenever Wapsi's around, it's never easy. Never easy going over there. Never easy when they come here. They beat that team, that AWGSR team that we just played. They beat that team early on. You know, they only had 2 losses coming into tonight, AWGSR. One of them was the Wapsi. So, you know, we'll have that. There will be no slouch going over there. And then we're back with Owine on Friday here.
And then you're not home till January 30th.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
I just looked at it and I went, oh, there's 5 road games.
Yeah,
so it's going to live on the road a little bit.
But, yeah, it was pretty lopsided over at Owine, but they're a much more quality team that they showed over there. They're going to come in here with a lot more fight. They played Grundy Center to a really close game. They've played some teams. Since we played them, they've played some tough games with some teams. So I expect that to be a completely different matchup this time around.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you stopping up. Congratulations on the win, and we'll talk again next week.
Appreciate it.
That's head coach Jordan Conrad here on our halftime show. We'll return here in just about 30 or 40 seconds on the Jayhawks Sports Network.
Here we are, Nate. We're
back at it. I needed a little break after talking to Coach. I could have went on for another 10, 15 minutes with what we were getting into, but
and you couldn't find your headset.
Yeah,
it was on your head.
It was on my head. That happens with my glasses. So 7:47 to go here in this second half as we are underway. AWGSR trailing Jesup 44-20. Jack Miller, not shocker. He's the man tonight. 22 points, and we were almost looking for a repeat right there, Luke, with a little alley-oop.
It was a good steal by Shizzle nonetheless. Kind of lost control of it there at the end.
Still looking for that first basket for either team, and we see a whistle on a kick ball. Cougars will have that ball, have that possession. And a travel. Jack saw it right there.
Yep.
Well, the official made that action, sent it back the other way. And, you know, it's interesting what the conversation in – they don't go to the locker room, but they go to a classroom here across from the gym when you're up by 24 points compared to when you're down by 4 points. What that is. Or even up by 4.
Don't let up. And it's also good, you know, to remind the boys that the Cougars are 0-7 on the season, so don't let your head get too big as Jack
he brings it
in.
Didn't fall down that time.
You can tell his legs are tired though. You know, in that Bosco game, he was dunking those things effortlessly. He was pushing the limits to get up for that one.
Give him 24 points tonight. And Roeder has that ball. Deep three left side from Niederhoff. Miller pulls that down. Looking down court. Sees Shizzle back out to Treptow. Tucks in. Moore gets a chance.
I tell you what, we talk so much about Miller and his passing ability. Treptow is a phenomenal passer. He sees a lot of guys and makes some passes that are unexpected, at least for me. Now, granted, there's a lot of things that happen out here that are unexpected for me at this point in my life, but he's a great passer. Does a nice job distributing for the Jayhawks.
Landon Vogel back in the game after a knee injury, looks like, or I guess ankle. Looks like he's got his left ankle taped up as he's back there. Back out, starting here in the second half. You know, and if you were to talk about, you know, Jack and the points he scores, things like that, you would just assume he just must get the ball all the time, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you look at assists and rebounds and things like that. He's passing that ball around as well.
He's one of the most unselfish kids on this court. Yeah, he takes a lot of shots, but
he's got 26 assists on the year. He averages 3 a game.
Yeah, those 3-pointers he's taking, they're open for Jack. It's not like he's launching up a Hail Mary. Those are high percentage shots for him.
Under 6 minutes here, third quarter. Welcome on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology. I'm Nate Clayberg. Luke Baldwin is the other voice. Anthony Bodd running the magic suitcase at controls. Eric Clark on camera. And trying to decide, what did we say? This is our 7th, 8th year in doing this.
I don't know, man. I was thinking it was about
time flies.
There's Willems' third 3-pointer, I believe, of the game.
That's
Willems
3 for him.
Just a sophomore again, 5'10" sophomore.
Shizzle crossed over to Landon Vogel. Kale takes a little push down to Moore, left side, almost there.
Looked like Moore took a little push on the back there. No call. Not saying that affected his shot too much, but
air ball comes out. Niederhoff saves it. They'll keep it in action with the offense. As I say that, Kale sails out of bounds on the near side on the visitors' bench.
That's a nice save, right, Niederhoff.
Good student crowd tonight, Luke. How about that?
Yeah. Almost when the band was still here, we were kind of a packed house, at least on the Jayhawk side.
Parents have shown up too. I can't quite see how
it's not bad.
How the AWGSR crowd
is 3/4 full.
Miller fights for that one. Not going to dive for it. Good choice. Low, like you said early on, we've not seen a ton of fouls this game like we saw in the girls' game.
No, it was like it's tough to get in a flow. I don't know if Coach Conrad talked about the fouls in that game at all. It's sometimes tough for a game to have any kind of a flow when there's that many fouls called, but definitely a different story here in the boys' game as Jack Miller rains down another 3 from deep.
Take him to 27.
Shout out to Paul McCone, father of the McCone kids we were talking about in the first half.
Well, I guess you got to throw that out there.
Well, he said
you got to give him some credit too.
Yeah,
you got to give Stacy for credit that what she's been involved in as far as the Booster Club and supporting sports.
Yep, and I only singled Paul out there because he chimed in on the old Facebook feed. So
I was looking across the way when we were talking about him, kind of with Paxton on the floor. I was seeing if they were still here, and they must have taken off. He's already probably got his slippers on and his robe.
Lucky.
Sitting up his recliner watching on the big screen. With the sound on mute probably at this point.
Not going to lie. Sitting on the couch, my slippers. I don't have a robe, to be honest with you. Well, I've got a smoker's jacket.
I'm sure you do. With patches on the elbows, I'm sure you do.
And I wear one of those, I don't know what those things are called.
An ascot?
Yeah, an ascot. I knew it was something weird.
We've been working together a long time. I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. And Anthony still to this day is amazed at the stuff that comes out of your mouth.
I don't smoke, but I do. Beautiful silk.
It's a killer.
No, I don't have a robe, Anthony.
He just walks out to get the newspaper and his whatever he's wearing. 12 points.
Jack Miller deep.
Willems.
Short.
Willems has had 4 3-pointers.
We're going to have a defensive foul underneath. I did not see who that was against, but I'll let you know that's going to be Niederhoff. And that will be Niederhoff's second on the night. Second team foul. Little floater for Jack. 58-27, Jayhawks. About a little over 2.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Ascot. What a weird word that is.
And Jack Miller controls that ball well. Take him to 29.
Where'd that name even come from?
I don't know. Don't know.
Not quite like Cousin Eddie's little mock turtleneck thing
No.
he wears on Christmas vacation.
That's pretty sweet, too, though.
That's not an ascot, is it?
No.
That's technically not it.
No, that's
That's
a mock
more of what-
That's a mock turtleneck.
That's more what Fred from Scooby-Doo wore, I think. Jack Miller gets it back from Treptow. Off the box, no good. Ball still bouncing around.
Everybody wants to alley-oop Jack. Jack says, guys, my legs are tired.
Yeah, we got 2 games. We got Wapsie Tuesday.
That's right. Wapsie's having a bit of a down year, but it's Wapsie, man.
Yeah, you never know.
Always expect the unexpected. Oh, boy, that was a nice look. Not a great pass by Treptow. If that would have been on the money, that's an easy deuce.
Landon Vogel taking the attempt down there under 2 minutes here, third quarter. Only 5 total team fouls this quarter. Madden Sly in that contest as he pulls that in. There's Shizzle. Sly tried to do a pick. Quick pass around that arch. And Treptow hanging out down low, pushes back a little bit, and gets one on the right side.
That's a really strong move by Treptow. Sometimes we underestimate that kid's strength. Pretty tall and lanky, but he's a strong kid, and he forced his will on the defense there.
Well, and you know, talking about Treptow, when you look at the football season he had last year as a sophomore, thrown into that quarterback position, as Jack Miller now takes him up to 34 points, but Ryan really building up some size and some experience in the offseason, really leading that Jesup team to the first playoff win they've had ever.
Yeah. I don't know ever. I thought.
So now Jack now has the most points in Jesup boys basketball history with that three-pointer.
Pretty impressive.
You know, when you look at Jack starting
I didn't catch what the total was there, Nate.
Yeah,
I know that Brad. Oh my goodness, Brad Schmidt. Sorry.
So I sent Anthony down to see if he can get that script from Dan Fox.
Oh, okay.
To see if we can get through that. But Jack Miller now with 34 points. And how do you get there? Well, Jack was starting as a freshman, and he was putting up those threes and having some big nights back as a freshman. And there was even a time where, was it last year or the year before, that he missed the first early games because he was recovering from surgery. So
yeah, you're right, Nate.
We'll talk about this at the quarter.
Yeah, I was multitasking there, so I wasn't much for conversation. But yeah, and we can talk about it at the quarter. The other thing I was going to say when you mentioned, he started as a freshman. Well, so did the previous record holder, Brad Schmidt. He was playing as a freshman too, I believe.
And that was from 99 to 2002 as we hit the quarter break. 71-30, and only allowing 10 points in there for AWGSR. But this is what Dan Fox had just announced to the crowd after Jack hit his three-pointer to take him up to 34 points. He needed 32 tonight to tie, or 33 to break, and he got to 34, and he will continue to demolish that record, or will demolish the record. It's a school career scoring record. Currently sat at 14:06, and now the new record being 14:38. If he as he's broke it, and I'm not reading the right thing, I'm just paraphrasing, but with the points, Jack again becoming the all-time leading scorer in Jesup history, surpassing Brad Schmidt, who scored 1,438 points in his career back in 99 to 2000. Again, awesome for Jack. He's going to keep moving along with that.
Yeah, so, okay, Jack did have 14:06. The current record, obviously, was 14:38. Jack scored that three Yeah, that's weird.
So 14:06 plus 34 is where we're at for the new record.
Okay.
Yep, that's where I was getting lost on what it was. And then it came to
I was forgetting the points he's got here tonight. So, yeah, so he's what? Is he must be sitting at 1440 right now?
Yeah, 1440 is where he's at. You did that math quicker than I did. And I had to write it out.
Well, congratulations to Jack Miller, and shout out to, we need to give credit to Brad Schmidt as well. Brad, I remember when Brad played, and he was, and probably still is, a phenomenal shooter. In fact, I think Brad is, he's still involved in athletics, but basketball specifically. I believe he travels around running some camp type things. Don't quote me on this. I don't know the specifics of it, but anyway, he was a heck of a basketball player, went on to play college ball. So that record he had wasn't dumb luck. He was a flat-out baller.
Treptow now is 16. We're seeing a new face that we've not seen on the varsity level yet, and that's another freshman. As we were talking about Jack being a freshman, Parker Mastetler making his way up from the fresh soft team this season to the JV team and now on the varsity level. Because we don't have that big guy in there.
No.
When you got Madden Sly, that they register him as 6'1", but you bring in Parker, he's got to be 6'4", 6'5", maybe.
Yeah, I think he's right in there.
6'3", 6'4", maybe.
Foul's going to go against Niederhoff, I believe. Nope.
No, he's actually going to be 6'4", 6'5".
Muchler. Yeah, he's a nice player. I've watched him in JV ball a little bit. Again, just a freshman. He's got some, I would say, he's got to work on his strength a bit, which is completely understandable for a freshman. Got to work on his feet work, just get more of that killer instinct. But he's obviously got the physical attributes, or at least the height.
And the basketball IQ out there to do it.
Yeah, so good to see him getting some minutes here in a game that there's no reason he shouldn't be getting some minutes.
And it's a good chance for Coach Smize to kind of try and see how that fits in as you get to the later part of the second half of this season. More with that rebound, tries to bring it back in, looking for an outlet. There's Paxton McCone.
Got it.
He gets a three.
Misses one, gets it back, knocks it down. Always impressed by Moore's quickness. He ripped down that massive board there, but there he got another board, and he is so quick up and down that court. Paxton pretty long on that one. A little bit of a heat check maybe. Timeout. No, I'm sorry, that was not a timeout. That's going to be a foul. I honestly, I don't know who that foul. Okay, it's on McCone. Paxton's third foul.
First team foul of the half for the quarter, I guess.
Paxton's going to have to clean that up before he hits the varsity level officially. Nice three-pointer for, that is Willems again. That's Willems' fourth three-pointer on that tonight. That kid's a shooter. He's got a nice future ahead of him here.
And there's Landon Vogel. He'll shoot that one out. And back-to-back points for AWGSR. 3:49 to go. Baseline, going to see a double team stop on Moore. And Paxson between the legs looking for a pass. He's got to go across court. Nolan takes a corner three. Puts that one in. Put him in the scorebook. I was going to say, I got a voicemail from Paxton McCone the other day. Another shot there from AWGSR. He's in this year's CAPS program for Jesup. They're doing their big showcase next week on Wednesday from 2 to 4 down at Cowork 591. So anybody's interested in seeing what happens with the JCAPS program here in Jesup, along with the Dunkerton students involved in that, on their project and experiences. They have some of the best cookies that day from 2 to 4 from Rachel's Kitchen that makes Jesup Caps cookies.
There's nothing.
That's one of
bad.
the highlights of going, or the nugget that why you should go, and then you get to see the experiences too.
Anytime Rachel is involved in the food, it's going to be awesome. But back to the point, the true point of your comment there. That's really a fascinating day. I had a daughter in that. Was it last year?
Well, when did she graduate, Luke? Last year?
Just graduated last year. I think she was in there first semester last year. And I knew when she graduated, Anthony. I couldn't remember when she was in Caps, but I went down and experienced that day, and, man, it was really impressive. The thing that was most impressive for me was those kids went into Caps with a certain level of confidence and speaking ability and all those things that are hard to develop as a kid. And to stand there and listen to them present to you one-on-one or one on a group, being confident, well-spoken, it was impressive to see. So anyway, to Nate's point, if you get a chance to go down and take that in, you
2 to 4
really should.
on Wednesday at Cowork 591. And while we're doling out promotion, Jesup Fire Department having their breakfast Sunday morning.
Yes.
At the fire station, 8 till 11:30. Free will donation. Anthony may have the bacon outfit on. No. Okay.
Phenomenal breakfast, by the way. You go away from that thing hungry, that's your own darn fault. Great pancakes, bacon, sausage, eggs, hash browns. No hash browns. Okay. Coffee, juice, milk,
You're
water.
just going to keep building on the menu, right?
Pizza.
Yeah.
Filet mignon.
Yeah, don't forget about
salmon.
eggs Benedict. There's an omelet station that Anthony's running.
No, seriously though, it's a great breakfast, and it's always nice when somebody else cooks for you.
I was waiting for you to bring up eggs Benedict and the hollandaise sauce. Hollandaise
sauce.
holiday sauce. 64 seconds to go here in Jesup tonight. 83-39. Jesup well has this one, and we've got
That's William Hoffmeister, I believe, was the. Wait a minute. Yes, William Hoffmeister, a sophomore, 6'1" sophomore for the Cougars. Drained that last three.
running clock. Brennan Oshner, Pax McCone, Tyler Nolan, Parker Mastetler, and Peyton Cameron all on the floor for Jesup, getting some minutes. Cougars little push inside there that Tyler Nolan's going to ding with that. Clock continues to roll. Hoping to get at least one shot in here as they'll try and get open
real quick.
With Willem Hofstetler, and Tyler Nolan responds with a question foul with a follow-up layup.
Just real quick, Nate, the Cougars had Niederhoff, Hoffmeister, Rose, Dennis, and Brown on the floor to close that game out. So wanted to get that in there.
Jesup winning 85-41, leading scorer 13 points for the opponent was Trace Eiton, just the freshman coming in big for there. But Jesup, leading scorer, we'll get to the main one here in a little bit, but Treptow was 16 points. Shizzle had 5, 11 for Vogel. Sly had a basket. Nolan had a 3, and then he also had that layup. But kind of the story of the night, other than Jesup moving on to now a 6-4 record. Jack Miller closed out the night with 34 points. He is now the Jesup leading scorer for boys basketball with a total of 1,440 points. He needed to have at least 33 to break that, and he did that and surpasses Brad Schmidt, who graduated back in 2002. He had 1,406 points. So big night in Jesup, big win, and congratulations to Jack and all the people that have been a part of his life and his development to get him where he's at, but also the development that he's had for so many other people as well.
Yeah, right on. That's a good point, Nate. I mean, what do they say? It takes a
village.
A village.
Takes an ascot.
Takes
Something like that.
Takes a village to raise a kid, or I don't know. You know what we're trying to say. Nate said it much better, so I'll leave it at that. But final score, was 41-85 or something like that. That's what it should have been. Jesup came out and did what they should have done. So they should be proud of themselves. But let's get back on the court on Tuesday and make this a consistent thing.
Well, we get through next week as the boys and girls will go up to Wapsie Valley. And then next Friday, Olwine will be a doubleheader here. But looking ahead, I know the girls, I look at the girls here, they're on the road for 5 straight road games. Jesup the boys will be on the road for 2 games on the road. But our next broadcast will actually be wrestling for the first time this year. We're going to bring on Levi Vogel, who actually knows some stuff about wrestling. Yep. And we'll join. Luke will kind of be the front man on Tuesday. I'll jump in on Thursday. But join us for wrestling Tuesday, Thursday, basketball on Friday.
Yeah, it's going to be a big week for the Jayhawks.
So, for Luke Baldwin, as well as our on-site producer Anthony Baugh and camera operator Eric Clark, who already left the building, I'm Nate Clayberg from the upper patio, the Jesup South Gym. Final score tonight, boys win 85-41, girls victorious 58-47 over AWGSR. You can watch these entire games again on replay on our YouTube channel as well as on our Facebook page. This is the Jayhawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology, music courtesy of bensound.com. Go Jayhawks, and good night.